In this video, we are targeting Andalusian Barbel diamonds, arguably the toughest diamond in the Spain Reserve. If this video helps you catch your diamond, please remember to give it a like, come back and leave a comment, let me know you were successful, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Here is my latest catch green. First fish, much to my surprise, was a diamond. Started at 134. Here's a mirror carp, but a bunch of golds. Another mirror carp, and another. Here's back-to-back diamonds. Last fish at 310. That's 1 hour 36 minutes. 5 were mirror carp. 12 gold Andalusian Barbel, 3 diamonds. Here's another one just in case you thought that first catch green was a fluke. First fish at 23.53 is a gold. Here's a diamond. And another one. And another one. Of course, I just had to have 2 mirror carps to mess up this beautiful latest catch green. Last fish at 0209. That's 2 hours, 16 minutes, 15 golds, 3 diamonds. Let's take a quick look at the Andalusian Barbel. For the traits, it's a hard fighter and will last stand. That will come into play in the area that we're going to fish because of all the obstacles. For the bait and lure preferences, I prefer hot dog for the bait. And don't forget match blend to attract them. The maximum Andalusian Barbel is just over 9 pounds. However, the area we're going to use also has mirror carp, and there's no way to exclude them, unfortunately, and they get quite large. So it's important to overgear. Now, if you're in a competition and you need high score, then I'm going to show you one location that makes it easier and you can use lighter gear. But for the video, I am using 22 pound, as you see here, rod and reel and fluorocarbon. We want to use fluorocarbon here because of the obstacles. The waggler bobber to move less in the current. The size 5 gold hook and hot dogs. And you're going to want either 2 or 3. You see, I have 3 here. Now, if you use the first spot I'm going to show you on the dock, I recommend you use the strongest floats that you have because it's very easy to get snapped off there. And for bait feeding, you want match blend for sure on your hand. And if you have it, medium and long catapults. If you don't have the catapults, that's okay. Just use the dock spot and use your hand. You want to start in a morning server. Here is the location that we're going to use. Over here is the main outpost. Here is the trailhead. You want to grab a Jeep from here, drive around the gate here, and over to where you see my Jeep parked right there next to this dock. Don't forget, you can use the back of the Jeep if you need to restock your bait or your bait balls. We're going to use this dock right over here. The second place you can fish the area is right across from the dock. You see where I have my car parked, and I drove it up through this route from the car valet. Now, there are a fair amount of trees in this area, but they really don't stop you. It's just a little hard to see. And then be careful when you're going downhill that you don't flip the Jeep. And you can park around this area where these towers are, and we're going to use this point right here. To catch Diamond Andalusian Barbel, start in a morning server, fish 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 1700, and then reset to a new morning server. For your gear, you're going to want either 2 or 3 float fishing rigs, depending on which side of the area you fish from. And all of them need size 5, the gold hook with hot dog for your bait. And don't forget to use match blend to attract them. I recommend you use the dock when you want an easy strategy and easy in and out, particularly if you're going to be moving your Jeep. It's not tough to get it over here. You just spawn it and drive it up. The downside, of course, lots of obstacles. I generally do not like fishing from docks in Spain. So for the strategy, we're going to grab the hand and put one out to the left. A lot of diamonds will spawn right there. If you don't have a catapult, do the same thing on this side. Ideally, you want a catapult. If you have the long one, which I'm using here, you want to go close to the max. If you only have a shorter one, then when you cast, reel in to align with whatever the distance was on that. So I'm going to grab one of my strong float fishing rigs, because in this spot you really want to rip them in, or you risk getting snapped off. And even with the gear I'm using here, which is quite strong, I have been snapped off. So you see on the left there it says put in rod hold, put rod in holder. If you get too close, you won't be able to do it. I don't want to fall in, so I'm not going to show you, but go ahead and max cast out. Let's see how we do. I'm a little longer than I want, so I'm going to bring it in to a line and then put it in the rod holder. Do the same thing on the other side. Drop it down just a little bit. There you can see I'm too close. This one you can get hung up in either of these posts, so kind of try and get in the middle. And then we're just going to quick cast, which on Xbox is RB, or if you're using a controller. If you don't know it on whatever you're using, look it up. I use controller on both Xbox and PC. And this is a gold hook strategy, so really you just wait at this point. All I do is refresh and reset those bait balls, and then if you haven't gotten a bite in a while, they will drift a little bit. As you can see, there's very minimal current here. But about every 3 or 4 bait balls, if I haven't gotten a bite, I will recast. Just make sure everything's okay. There is a rod holder bug in the game, so you want to hit Y to open the bail before you put it in. It can snap back, and sometimes you may not notice it. Another good reason to occasionally reset those. You can use a third one if you want out here. I don't bother. It's so tight. The areas are close enough together. I just didn't find any advantage to it. There wasn't really another good spot. You could put one out here if you wanted to. It works much better to use 3 across the way, and I'll show you that here in just a minute over by those towers. Far fewer obstacles. This one, to keep it simple, I just used 2. Doesn't look like we're going to get a bite. That's fine. Sometimes I get a diamond right off the bat there on the left, off the server spawn, which is kind of nice surprise. But let me take you across the shore here. Now I'm across the shore. That's the dock you see right in the middle there that we were just on. And you see the Jeep over here. And I'm going to use this point and do something similar. Now, because that dock spot is so good, I always want to have a cast over in that direction. And I'm going to put this out so I can talk while we have fish out. That is a great dime spot right there. If you don't have the catapults, just use your hand and run up and down and position them on the shore. There will be a maximum range you can get to where that rod holder will automatically go back in. So don't go any further than that, but hopefully you have catapults. And if you do, you can try something like this. Put one over here and go not quite max. One over here, not quite max. I'll put this one in the rod holder. Again, open that bail first so the line doesn't snap off. And then I am going to do the same thing. This one will be in hand. Pretty close to line it up to the bait ball. As long as you're within 10 feet or so, that's fine. And then you just wait. Nothing more to this, really. I do vary the other two around, not the one by the dock. Consistently put that one there over and over again. If you only have the hand, use the maximum throw with the hand to get as close to the dock as you can. The attraction on the chum is quite far, so it will work fine too. For that one, as you saw, I did a forward only cast, so it goes about half the distance. Now the advantage to this side is you can see no obstacles around. You still want to be a little careful with the rock wall here to my left. But we don't have all the posts to worry about like we do over at the dock that will snap you off. So if you need score is dependent on your line strength. You can drop down to something like an 8-pound. I've certainly fished this area with 8-pound. And it can be a little challenging with the mirror carp, but you'll definitely know if you have a mirror carp. And you can see I've got a nibble on the in hand. You can tell by the bobber bouncing in the lower right. If it was one of the rod holders, this actually looks pretty good. This could be a big gold Andalusian. We'll see. Maybe it's not. I don't think it's big enough to be a diamond, but it could be a gold Andalusian. Sometimes the small mirror carp will fool you. And that looks like an Andalusian. You can kind of see the gold glowing. Yep, big gold. Not a bad looking fish. And I am going to replenish the one by the dock first. I usually do that most of the time. And then occasionally I'll do this one over here to the left first. The first one that you shoot out is going to attract the most fish, but because we're doing them far apart, we should still get them on the other rods. And as you saw, even though I did this one over here later, we did get that bite on that one. So gold hook strategy, don't expect, constant bite like you would with silver. You can move in hand to silver if you want. I don't find it to be necessary at all. Pretty decent bite rate on these. You saw from my latest catch grains, about 2 hours to get 20, which I don't think is bad at all, and I absolutely believe is the fastest route to the diamonds. And this is being probably the toughest diamond in Spain. You'll see in the montage. Here's another one on the in hand. It's kind of unusual. I was hoping to get one on one of the rod holders, but that's okay. We're getting bites. Small gold Andalusian, I'd say, on this one. If you get it on the rod holder, you have 30 seconds, so don't feel panicked. That's okay. Put the in-hand one away. Pick up the rod holder and secure it. Set the hook. There's our small gold Andalusian. Let's see how we're doing on these bait balls. Still looking decent. You have 30 seconds roughly. After that goes away, well, it's still attracting them. Sometimes I'll replenish it right away and keep the same fish. Other times I'll let it sit for a while and see if we can get a full reset. Now, once you've established your arrival time, do not fast travel away. Do not fall in the water. You'll change the environment and you may not catch diamonds at that point. So stay here until you're done. If you run out of bait balls or bait, restock in the Jeep. That's why it's over there. I don't want to make this too long, so I'm not going to wait for a bite on the rod holders, but I was hoping we'd get one. That's all there is to it. Feel free to move your in-hand or your other one around a little bit, but I do prefer where this one is aiming and this dock spot here. Always keep one right around that area. That seems to be the really hot spot for spawning the diamonds. Stay with the video to watch all the diamonds I caught. There are a lot of them. Happy fishing. Have a good one. Please click on the logo bottom left to subscribe to my channel. Check out my other content and don't forget to hit the like button on the video.